Welcome, everyone. This is Robin Byrne, your host of Busy to Bliss Self-Care Strategies to Create a Peaceful Mind. Our speaker today is Kathryn Ford. Kathryn is the founder and president of Excellence Institute, the premier training center for living a life of excellence. She is a master life coach, consultant, speaker, and author, specializing in health, well-being, and maintaining youthfulness. Through her coaching program, she teaches essential tools and methods that allow people to live a life they love living. Kathryn's focus is to support her clients in living the life of their dreams, no matter what circumstances they are currently facing. So welcome, Kathryn. So glad to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much, Robin. I'm grateful to be here with you, and hi to all the listeners as well.
Thank you. So you have been on an amazing journey with your own health. Could you share a little bit of your own journey so that we can get to know a little bit about you?
Absolutely. I would love to. Well, my journey began 26 years ago, my health journey, when I was 26 years old. I was busy climbing the corporate ladder and came home one day from work and had a very severe headache. Didn't really think much of it, took some aspirin, went to sleep. Well, I ended up actually going blind in my left eye. So I was living in Minnesota at the time, went down to Mayo Clinic in Rochester, and they gave me the news and the diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. So as you can imagine, at 26 years old, I was devastated. But I picked myself up and decided that just because the doctors were preparing me for all these scary things that could happen to me didn't mean that they had to happen to me. I've always believed that statistics are for groups, and I'm an individual. And I thought, I'm going to do everything I can to be in that tiny little percentage that does very well for themselves in their life. And so I went on and continued my career and had some ups and downs with my health along the way, but really poured myself into my best research that I could possibly find for helping myself in the way of holistic and integrative medicine, and really tapping into the power of my mind, that power that we all have within us. And I did that in conjunction with what medications the doctors were prescribing for me as well. So I went on and was just really immersing myself in all of this. And then 4 years ago, I got the shocking news that I had actually been misdiagnosed with MS for 22 years and actually have a diagnosis that's more severe called neuromyelitis optica, or NMO. So as you can imagine, again, it was like, oh my gosh, how could this be? And I was still living in Minnesota, so I went to Rochester, to the Mayo Clinic, where an expert on this very rare condition works and practices out of Mayo Clinic. And for every 100 people that has MS in our country, only one person has neuromyelitis optica. So it's very rare, and it's more serious than MS. And the first thing the doctor said to me when he came into the room was, "Are you Kathryn Ford?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Wow, you don't even look like someone who's had MS for 22 years, let alone this more serious condition. What are you doing besides the medication we have you on?" So I looked at him and I actually said, "Well, first off, doctor, I'm going to take that as a compliment." And he said, "You should. You really should. I'm so interested in what else you're doing." So I began to share with him all of the integrative and holistic practices, and as well as, the tapping into the power that we all have within us and how I was doing that. And he said, "Well, don't change any of that, because obviously it's working." And he said, "Actually, I think you should be sharing this with other people." So I kind of filed that in the back of my mind, and then he proceeded on to say I had been at that time on an injection, an every other day injection for MS. That was a chemotherapy type of drug, and I had been on that for 16 and a half years. And he then told me that medication is actually harmful to someone with NMO, or this new diagnosis that I had. So I was literally saying to myself, when am I going to wake up from this nightmare? I could not believe what was happening. And I took a deep breath, and then I closed my eyes, and I think he was holding his breath the whole time that I was closing my eyes. And then it hit me. And I opened my eyes, and I looked at him, and I said, "You know what, doctor? I have a very powerful mind. In fact, I've been developing that. And I said, I believed that these injections were helping me, so I know they didn't hurt me. And he looked at me, he got this big smile of relief on his face, and he said, we're sticking with that. So then I realized after the appointment, the work that I had been immersing myself in was truly even more powerful than I thought, because I had something actually working against me for 16 and a half years, and I still was doing, quite well with everything. So that really did encourage me to look into how I could share this information that I had found. And I had more doctors also saying, you've really got to help other people with all of this research that you've done. So that's what brought me to where I am today. I had in my corporate world an extensive coaching background, a lot of experience there. So I took that and I merged it with all of this health and well-being and vitality research that I had done for myself, and I developed a coaching program, and that's called Oceans of Wellness. So that's where I am today, and it's a 7-step system that is amazing, and I'm very results-oriented, so I'm all about my clients living with vibrant health and well-being and living a life of excellence no matter what they've been through in their past, no matter what circumstances they're currently facing. And so it's very, very exciting for me, and I've developed this 7-step system to make it easy for other people to follow what I practice every day for my own health and well-being, and to create a life that we just love living.
And this is not just for people with chronic illnesses.
No, not at all. I have executives that I coach. It's, at certain points in our lives, we realize that we're under a lot of stress, and how do we manage that? It's for anyone really who wants to live their best life. I show people how to bring into their life anything and everything that they would love. I'm all about full spectrum wealth, and that means wealth not only in our health, but in our relationships, having healthy, rich relationships. There's power in that, true power, and it all affects our health and well-being as well. And I show people how to really find their purpose and passion in life, and to have the time and money freedom balance that they would love as well. Because at Excellence Institute, we believe that our health is affected by our relationships, our time and money freedom, and our creative expression or work in the world, and all of those things affect our health and are affected by it. So it's like a big circle. We're very complex spiritual beings having this human experience. And so the program that I've developed incorporates the whole entire being that we are.
So I understand that your clients call you the queen of self-care, and
yes.
You have 3 top self-care secrets. So
yes,
I would love if you could share a little of that with us today.
Oh, I'd be happy to. Yes, I believe that self-care is the new health-care. It absolutely is. And the first secret is to experience happiness every day. And happy really does mean healthy. And Dr. Barbara Fredrickson's research shows us that not all things that feel good offer the same benefit on a cellular level. One key way to live into maximizing happy means healthy is to ride the wave of helping or being supportive of someone else. And my favorite prescription to prescribe to my clients is that of helping someone else when you are actually experiencing a challenging time yourself. It's amazing how really restorative and healing that can be. The second secret is to live in the vibration of self-love. And I believe the largest component of self-care is love. And extending deep, pure love towards yourself will do more for your health and well-being than anything else I can think of. And it's your birthright to always feel safe, nurtured, loved, and supported. And we must ensure that an ever-important dose of these feelings are consistently streaming from ourselves back to ourselves. It's so very important. And Louise Hay, the queen of affirmations and the founder of Hay House, has a beautiful quote. She says, "There is only one thing that heals every problem, and that is to love yourself." So that is just beautiful. And in order to live in that vibration of love, I believe intuition and imagination are very, very important. We really have to go inward. We must go inward. It's important to connect with what we would really love. And oftentimes we're not used to asking ourselves this. Self-care is a choice too. It's a choice even when we reach in the refrigerator. How we perceive things is so important. How we approach the choices we make every day. When we are reaching in the refrigerator, do we reach for that can of, are we wanting that can of cola and say, well, I can't have that? Or are we making a healthy choice and saying, I choose this can of sparkling mineral water? That's just an example, but it's all in the way that we frame things. When I work with clients on releasing weight, I choose to use the words release weight, because when we're saying lose weight, when we lose something, we're always looking to find it. And I believe that's one reason why when we lose oftentimes weight, we'll go ahead and gain it right back again, because we were looking for it. We've got to get the inner world lined up with that as well. So it's all about just subtleties like that, and practicing that self-love and living in the vibration of self-love has everything to do with how we perceive what's happening in our lives as well. And the third secret is relentless pampering, and I love this one. Really explore what true pampering means to your body, mind, and spirit. And pampering is obviously different for each one of us, and we must honor what it is that indulges or gratifies each of our own personal desires, and then allow those delicious feelings to just wash over every cell in your body. And I like to say we have an ever-present, unlimited ocean of love within us, and the first place we must send a healthy dose to is ourselves. So those are my 3 secrets: experience happiness every day, live in the vibration of self-love, and relentless pampering.
I love the relentless pampering. The vibration of self-love, I think we really struggle with that one.
Yes. It's all about getting in touch with what that means to you. And I have a gift for everyone out there that will help to really tune into what that means to you. And it's my 5 keys to discovering your personal expression of self-love. And that can be found at freewellnessgift.com. So if your listeners want to just go out to freewellnessgift.com, there is an explanation of what it means and then an exercise to help you really tune in to how do you get onto that vibration of self-love. So again, it's the 5 keys to discovering your personal expression of self-love.
Well, and it's such a problem for us that you have to write about it, that we have to be taught how to do this.
Yes. Yes, it's not something that we are used to even asking ourselves. And I love to also think about the flight attendant analogy when I'm speaking about self-care and self-love. When we put ourselves first, we are better for everyone else in our lives. And we all know when we board a plane, one of the first things that the flight attendants will go through when they're reviewing the safety on the aircraft is the fact that if the oxygen masks drop, you were instructed to put our own on first and then assist those around us. And it's the same thing with self-care and self-love. We need to take care of ourselves first, and then we are so much better, not only for ourselves, but for everyone else around us as well.
And that is just so in opposition to most of our training that it's a difficult shift.
It really is, but we must learn how to extend that deep, pure love towards ourselves. That will do, again, more for our health and well-being and your entire life, your abundance, everything that you bring into your life in every area of your life than anything else I can think of, for sure.
And you're a great example of how that self-love has translated into health and wellness for you, despite some very damaging diagnoses.
Yes, yes. I have really found that self-care and self-love, which is the biggest component of self-care, finding that has made all the difference for me, truly all the difference. That's why I say self-care is the new health care. It certainly is for me.
I love that. It makes so much sense to me, and I'm sure our listeners are very curious about more about that. And how is your health these days?
Oh, my gosh. It's beautiful. I'm thriving, and one of the big big things I did for myself in the way of self-care. I found that balance is really important in my life, including where I live. And I was living in a very cold climate in the winter, and it also was very hot and humid in the summer. So 2 years ago, I decided that I was going to dream up where I would love to live. And so I found myself here in Santa Monica at the beach, and it's beautiful. It's pretty much 75 and sunny all year round, and it affords me to be able to get outside and take a walk. And nature is really very important to me in my practice of the self-care piece. And every morning I take my little 5-pound Yorkie out for a walk, and we listen to the doves cooing. We may take a peek at the dolphins that are playing in the water, and just get in tune with the world of nature waking up around us. And it's just amazing when we can. For me, that nature piece is a huge component. So whatever that major key component is for you, it's so important that you discover that. I have clients that I have one gentleman who said, I really don't connect with nature. So we found out what does he connect with, and then we bring more and more and more and more of that into your life. And by doing that, the well-being and the vitality and that vibrant health just naturally follow.
Well, you're saying that everybody has their own special places that they like, things that they need to do for themselves. So it's not a prescription. You do this, check it off, do that, check it off.
Exactly. No, my prescription is to find out what that is and to really key into that. And so the free wellness gift is the first step in helping you discover what that is and what does that uniquely mean to you. And once you can dial into that, oh my gosh. And it just makes life so magical too when we're doing that. And it doesn't have to cost a thing. That's what I love, the relentless pampering. I love one of my favorite, I believe you're located in Scottsdale, and one of my favorite places to go to is the Sanctuary Resort and Spa on Camelback Mountain. I love that. But I also love just, like I said, exploring nature with my little dog in the morning, and that doesn't cost anything. So it's important that we also schedule things. And one of the other tools that I have my clients practice is to sit down and just set aside 15 minutes, get very quiet, go within and have a pencil and paper there, and just start to list everything that comes to mind that you would love in the way of self-care and pampering. Just make a list. And at the end of the 15 minutes, go back and circle the ones that have the most energy around them, the ones that you feel just, I would love that. That really makes me light up inside. That really feels good to me. And after you've done that and circled your top 3 to 5, then I ask that you go and schedule them. I use my calendar as a sacred tool to make sure that it really happens in my life. And so to go ahead and put the things on your calendar that you would love to do. I have 2 times a day that I call my rejuvenation times, and they are absolutely sacred, and my assistant knows nothing gets scheduled over that unless it's a true emergency, and that's my time to really rejuvenate and regenerate. And I know that I am so much more productive during the day because of that practice, and I'm taking care of myself, and so I'm always calm on the inside. I have learned that with my health, it's very important to protect my peace, and I protect that like it's Fort Knox. So there's very, very little that can disturb me or disrupt me. I just find that even in the face of some storms going on maybe around me, I just find that eye of the storm, that place of calm and peace within me where I can retreat to at any time. And that's another thing I help my clients with, is really discovering, again, that our inner world and that power that we all have within us, so that no matter what is happening on the outside, we can find that place of peace and calm on the inside. We all have an inner pharmacy. And so our inner pharmacy is releasing chemicals all the time in response to what's happening in our lives, which is why I do guard my peace like it's Fort Knox, because I know that by guarding my peace, my inner pharmacy is releasing all kinds of beautiful, sparkling, healthy chemicals. When I'm stressed, when I'm feeling a lot of anxiety or whatever, my inner pharmacy is releasing toxic chemicals over time that my cells are being bathed in. So that's been another real key to my health, is just being able to find the place of calm within me and use that as a retreat and then all of these other self-care practices layered on have just made all the difference.
So I can see why your clients call you the queen of self-care. You are good at this.
I love it, too.
Of course.
I really do.
So on your website, you have other things you'd like to share with our listeners?
I do. In addition to accessing the freewellnessgift.com for this call, they also can go to my website and receive my free Be Well daily affirmations. And those are just wonderful. After you sign up for them, each day, Monday through Friday, you receive a new affirmation in your inbox in the morning. And these affirmations will help to raise your vibration and live from this new state of being. So treat yourself to those, too, if that resonates with you. They're a wonderful way to start your day. I have them, I believe there's people in 9 different countries receiving them right now, and I'm constantly getting great emails from all over, people just saying how it really helps them start their day off with a little bit of self-care, taking a few minutes for themselves. It's the first email that they open up in the morning, and just allow that affirmation to cellularize in your body. I just ask that you repeat it a few times, as many times as you need to really feel it inside, and then go about your day. It's a new affirmation each day, and I believe you'll really enjoy them.
It sounds like a great resource for all of our listeners. You've gotten a couple of different gifts for them, some more information about how they can contact you and, find out more about your work and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm very excited that you've been here today. Your discussion is infectious. I mean, you seem to really get excited about what you're talking about, and that's always a good sign.
I do. Thank you. So I appreciate you having me today, and I'll go ahead and spell my name just so everyone knows that too.
Sure.
Kathryn is spelled a little bit differently. It's Kathryn, and then FORD.com. So KATHRYN, Yeah. So
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Well, before we end today, I always like to ask everybody what's their favorite number one self-care strategy that you just do for you.
I love to practice gratitude. I believe in staying in a constant state of gratitude. And by doing this, we can change the way we feel because we change our thoughts, and there's a direct connection there. And Wallace Wattles, who wrote the book, The Science of Getting Rich, says, the whole process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. Gratitude alone can keep you looking toward the infinite and prevent you from falling into the error of thinking that the supply of riches is limited. And to think that would be fatal to your hopes. So gratitude is my key. That, and probably along with some good advice from Dr. Seuss, I'll leave you with this. I love this. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Excellent advice.
The wisdom of Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today. And listeners, all the information will also be on the website, so you can get links to Kathryn's gifts and her website. So thank you again, Kathryn. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much, Robin.
You're welcome. And for all the listeners, we will be meeting again tomorrow. So carry on and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.